we live now. What? I can't move it too much, I guess. Get all blurry and whatnot.
Straight. See, fellas. All right, Shalom. You know, this is the GMS Soldiers of Faith New Jersey camp. You know, my name is Shar, and this is the brother.
Khan.
You know, we gathered in the spirit. You know, we was watching the brothers, GMS Behold, I Come Quickly. You know, the brothers from LA, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shemi Shai. You know, brothers got inspired from the title of the video is the Willie Lynch letter was fulfillment of Jeremiah 17:4. You know, and then a particular part of the video stood out to the brother. You know what I'm saying? You can pretty much harp on, you know, what revelation you got.
Yeah, Khan, because Akim was saying, you know, we're going into how people are, you know, well, the book, the Willie Lynch letter, and it proves, you know, that our people are once slaves, all right, and it proves the mind state they're in, man, and how, you know, it's orchestrated from Esau from the beginning, all right, but Esau is so focused on his agenda, you know what I'm saying, he's so gun-ho on, you know, keeping us sleep, keeping us slaves, you know, on his, what's the word I'm looking for? On keeping us slaves, man. That the Akim they even mentioned that it said in the book of how hey, this is such a brilliant plan. You know, I was saying how he puts the man against the woman and the child against the adult. All right, that these people continue to stay asleep unless there was a quantum change, man. You know, so we had looked up the.
I still got it. Yeah, but first and foremost, Salakia, you know, first we want to give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. You know, we'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who do well, and peace, salutations, and blessings to the elect. And real quick, you know, like the brother made mention, you know, quantum change. You know, and real quick, it's what that pretty much means. You know, I found it here in, you know, a quick Google search, right? Quantum change. It's pretty much when epiphanies and sudden insights transform ordinary lives. Now, these are two psychologists that define quantum change. The names are C. DeBaca and Miller, both of the University of New Mexico. And they define quantum change as a kind of sudden personal metamorphosis. People who experience it, they believe, are sources of untapped potential for universal human healing.
Yeah, man. So Esau didn't account for that remnant that the Most High has, man. He didn't account for the elect waking up. All right, but that's I just grab this real quick. This is Revelations 11 and 11. It says after 3 days and a half, which is we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Shai, it's 350 years. The spirit of life from God entered into them, into who? Israel. All right.
More importantly, the elect of the nation of Israel.
And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. All right, because me and Akim, you know, me and the brother was talking, and it was like, as the brother was reading, you know, we just know through the spirit that Esau said that quote as far as, he said that quote as far as, you know, things will be the same unless there's a quantum change. You know, Esau in the mental mind, he said that sarcastically, man, because he didn't believe nor see it coming, and that's the way Yahweh Shemi Yahweh Shah works upon a sudden, man. All right, upon a sudden, what he you know woke Moses up and brought us up out of Israel. Upon a sudden, is this place Babylon the Great? Also, is this place Babylon the Great is gonna fall, man?
And also, just to back you up, I got a quick precept here. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 10. It says, "And all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the holy name of Yahweh," which is Yasha'Allah, Israel, "and they shall be afraid of thee." You know, because the Lord, because here it is, these devils, right? They spend billions of dollars to keep this information hidden. You know, they spend billions of dollars of keeping the so-called Negroes, like Latinos and Native American Indians, they spent this money to keep our heritage hidden from us. But now that they actually see that this word is coming out, this truth is coming out, and the people who are deemed to be categorized as the people in the Bible are actually the ones teaching the truth. So what the so-called Jews are getting exposed for the demons that they are. Here it is. The Hamites are getting exposed to who they actually are. The Arabs are getting exposed to who they actually are because they all had a hand in our downfall when it came to the transatlantic slave trade. So now the roles is about to be reversed to where the Lord's going to set Israel on the high and these other nations on the low. But pursuant to the title of the lesson, Esau's agenda, is blinding him from seeing the coming of the Lord, man. Because he still thinks that he's going to be able to fulfill his own agenda, which is a new world order in which he has the people populated at 500 million. And a lot of those agendas is what? The Operation Garden Plot, Rex 84, you got the Georgia Guidestones. So these are all various agendas and enterprises that these devils, came up with to pretty much what? In times of emergency, round up the people who have some type of influence, or know some type of information that could be detrimental to their agenda. They want to round them up and what? Put them in concentration camps. They pretty much want to silence them, But at that particular time, look, the work of the Lord is done when it comes to the word being pushed out there on the highways and byways. And that's why the scriptures also say, for you can't do nothing against the truth before it. And real quick, pursuing how these devils ain't going to see it coming, get Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter.
That's spirit, got that.
Uh-huh.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness.
That's right, the righteous man is the elect of the nation of Israel, and we standing in great boldness, not because of our own courage, it's because we inspired by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Hold that, get Psalms 94:16. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not of our own being that we're able to stand out there on the highways and byways condemning this devil, reproving him of his thoughts, cursing out 2/3. That's not of ourselves. That's of the inspiration of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai because he plants that spirit and that seed within us.
This is Psalms 94:16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers, or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Now, that's a rhetorical question, man. The Lord knows who's actually going to stand up for him. But this also goes to show the question is being posed in the sense of 2/3 of our people being scared. You know what I'm saying? Because they fear their oppressor. They fear this devil. They fear this Edomite, by way of death and imprisonment. A lot of our people fear death and imprisonment, and really it's because they know they're not living right, consciously and subconsciously. They don't even know where you go after you die. So what? They have a lack of understanding. So therefore, when an example gets made as somebody who speaks out against the government or speak out against their oppressor, and they get laid down and put to death, that transitions to the next person to what? Stay shut, to be quiet. And that's also what the brothers mentioned in this here video. One thing about, the woman, here it is that she may see her husband get put to death for standing up for himself and his family, and then she put and picking the cotton. Make sure you don't talk back to massa. Or if you see him doing anything that doesn't make you feel comfortable, let him do it. You know what I'm saying? It's provoking that soft spirit upon an Israelite man. So here it is when it comes time to speak up against this devil, because everything is in a particular time. The Lord is asking that question: who's going to rise up for me against the evildoers? Well, when it comes to the elect, we always had that spirit of fuck our oppressor. But the Lord also puts that spirit of wisdom to where we deal accordingly with our oppressor. Go ahead.
It says, unless the Lord had been my help, my soul had almost dwelt in silence.
That's right. So it's not about us. So it was the help of the Lord. It was the help of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that allowed us to speak. Because If it wasn't for him, we'd be silent like the rest of these niggas. They ain't out there standing up for nothing. Then you got those fake woke individuals, that speaking, so-called speaking out with the government, but they actually working for the government. That's how these devils able to call themselves playing both sides, man. That's how he calls himself controlling the narrative, so to speak. By having people set up, acting as if they coming up against the government, then having other people set up like, oh, you're nothing but a conspiracy theorist. That's this devil controlling both sides because he thinks he's the Most High. And when that time comes, the Heavenly Father's going to really show you why he's called the Most High when he sends his son. Well,
unless the Lord had been my help, my soul had almost dwelt in silence. When I said my foot slipped, thy mercy, or Yahweh, held me up.
That's right. So the Lord is holding us up, man. Even the scriptures say, for a just man falleth 7 times and get it back up again. So even the times we do slip, the Lord holds us back up. You got something?
Oh, I was gonna say, like in was it Psalm 16? How King David even prophesied about Yahweh. He said, "Thou will not leave my soul in hell," man.
That's right.
So you know what? After 3 days and a half, well, your body's supposed to decay after 3 days.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what? Even though that's the phenomenon, man. Being that we were so long in sleep in captivity, we were supposed to remain that way, man. But we represent Yahweh Shah, man. And with Yahweh Shah, he was the only one to come back from the dead, man.
That's right. That's right.
It says, when I said my foot slipped, thy mercy, or Yahweh, held me up. In the multitude of my thoughts within me, thy comforts delight my soul. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee?
Hell no. So you ain't gonna see us making no leagues with the devil, man. You're not going to see any paperwork or no form of agreement that the true men of the Lord making with this devil, man. We're not signing no 501c3 contracts, man. Like these guys, IUIC, and I believe the ISUPK, Well, we have free course in the Lord, man. We're able to speak what we want to speak in the spirit of power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. That's one thing the devil can't control and infiltrate, is this truth. He can infiltrate these other false teachers and these other false prophets, but when it comes to the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, this is a force that he can't reckon with, but he can't see it. Right. He may even feel like he got to infiltrate it because he got certain spies, within the various camps, man. He feel like he got certain brothers' number. Well, you can't do nothing against the truth, only for it, Judas was a betrayer unto Yahushua. So look, and the servant is not greater than the master. So what? We have to go through the same situations. You doing the will of the Lord anyway. For their judgment to be that much greater. So you just falling right into the Lord's hand when you think you're fulfilling your own agenda.
It says, in the multitude, so I can read it, verse 18. It says, when I said my foot slippeth, thy mercy, O Yahweh, held me up, and the multitude of my thoughts within me, thy comforts delight my soul. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law?
And that's what these devils love to do. They love.
That's fucking C right there, man. This dude never fucking calls me.
What was that? Read that again.
Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law?
Oh yeah, because that's what these devils love to do. They love to frame mischief by a law. Wait, is it gonna keep it? Like, is it gonna keep what we already recorded?
Yeah, it's still going. Yeah, it's still going.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because with these, because here it is, we're spiritual men. We're not carnal men. So these devils are not gonna, have any conversations of us talking about shooting any buildings up, or if any martial law troopers come busting in the doors, that we're gonna have something ready for them when they come in. Like we don't speak carnally about our oppressor, because we know that we gotta wait ye upon the Lord till he rise up to the prey. So it's nothing but spiritual talk. So now these devils have to frame certain laws by way of mischief that goes contrary to the word of the Lord. And one of those ways is now, for an example, you can't say a bundle of sticks, on camera, on YouTube, or else you get a strike or you get your page suspended, which is the F-bomb, so to speak. which means a bundle of sticks. So that's a case of frame and mission by law. Now they got something called hate crimes. Here it is, if a homosexual make a pass on you, and you fuck him up, being righteous in the spirit, you can get double the time of the charge because it's a hate crime against a homosexual. That's a case of frame and mission by law, man. But it's going to be many more cases to where these devils are going to try to put us into a corner to where they're liable to lock us up, and paint the image and controlling the narrative as if we're the bad guys to the general public,
Hey, but just like in the time, it never calls me.
It's still going?
Okay. Yeah, it's still going. Yeah. I was saying like how Esau, he got it sold up, man, because he, like brother said, he framed certain laws, and words that you can't say to express, the scriptures or whatever, But hey, Herod thought he could do the same thing with Apostle Peter, man, by putting 16 guards around him. But the Lord wants his word to come out, like it says in Isaiah 58, it's gonna come out, man. And it said what it's gonna accomplish to where I sent it, man.
You jump back to Wisdom of Solomon.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, and verse what was that? It says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him."
Which is Esau, the so-called white man, because he afflicts us day in and day out by way of his bills, by way of his education, by way of his food, by way of the pollution in the air, by way of the scoffing and scorning and the opposition that he sets up to come against the man of the Lord. He afflicts us in all avenues, and through the Spirit of the Lord, we're able to maintain. Yeah.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
That's right, because they didn't expect for their kingdom to crumble the way it is, and the way it's going to. So once they see Yahushua crack them clouds, and the elect getting beamed up, in the process, then he's going to be amazed. Because when you read Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, here it is, Esau is going to attempt to put us through certain terrors to see if the Heavenly Father be with us. You know what I'm saying? So when the Lord actually cracked them crowds and the Lord actually showed the people he's actually defending, these devils are going to be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, man, of our salvation. Because why? He couldn't look for it. He didn't see it. He didn't have the faith to see it. Because what the scriptures tell us about these devils, the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. Even though we tell them every day. We tell this devil every day, how the Heavenly Father is going to send his son, to redeem his people. But Esau thinks he's going to reign forever, pursuing to what? Psalm 49 and 11. Mm-hmm. The inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. And there's countless videos on YouTube to where these devils, they got these space stations, they got these, they got like pretty much like their mansions in the clefts of the rock, and there's one particular video I saw years ago, maybe about 5 years ago, how they got different varieties of nuts, different varieties of seeds, stored in these mountains. And the devil actually made the statement that we're gonna live as we once had before, so to speak, because that devil know his history, that he once dwelled in the clefts of the rock. That's why they're called Caucasians, because they dwelt in the Caucasus Mountains. So they know once this nuclear blast comes forth, that's going to be one of their so-called safe havens. They have motion sensors, built in them, dual blast doors, because they have a feeling, because we're telling them that we're going to search them out any goddamn way, through the Spirit of the Lord, when the Lord blesses with those spiritual power. Right. So they feel like they're going to be protected, but the Lord's going to bless us with the gift of what do you call it? Like now you see me, now you don't.
Teleportation.
Right. So one time you're not going to see us in your living room, then automatically you're going to see us in your living room. Those are one of the spiritual powers that the Lord's going to bless us with. But you can't see it.
I got one real quick.
Yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon 2:21. Such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness have blinded them.
There you go. You got it.
Kind like the brother said, man. Such things they deceived. They got it in mind. You know they're gonna win. You know, like what's that? That devil George Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know we're gonna have a war with an extraterrestrial being. You know, but we're gonna win. What the fuck? You know, and Esau, he knows. You know what I'm saying? Like in the book of Maccabees or whatever. Or all right, or you know certain times where the angels came and how they wrecked shop, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, because these devils know about the Tower of Babel. You know, they study that history and actually what went wrong. They know about the time during the time of the Greeks where they tried to establish a one world government, you know, and what actually went wrong. So these devils feel like, well, one thing that they were actually missing was technology. We have technology. So we'll be able to accomplish this new world order, you know, this one world government, you know, but what you're going to be sadly mistaken. You know, what's that? Job 5:12. You know, grab that right quick. About the show. You know what I'm saying? Because like these devils really study history and try to change things up to where they think that their plan is actually going to be successful.
Job 5:12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty.
That's right. What are one of the devices of the crafty? That RFID microchip. You know, that mark of the beast, which allows these devils to. It can allow these devils to maintain a population at 500 million. It also allows these devils to know where everyone is at every given time. It also allows these devils the power to release a dose of cyanide into your bloodstream by the blink of an eye. You know? So that's what causes this devil to be crafty. Because he tested it, you know, and it worked. Because it plays upon the frequency. He can have you jump off of a bridge, you know, by turning up your frequency by way of that RFID microchip. That's why it's the mark of the beast, and that's why the Lord said he's going to destroy you if you take it. Go ahead.
So that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
That's right. So that your hands cannot perform your enterprise. Because why? You're able to control the individual by the push of a button, you know, by that particular device. You know, so what? Ultimately, the Lord is going to disappoint you. He's going to rain upon you while you're eating. Go ahead.
He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong.
That's right. So you devils is too smart for your own good, man. You know, but the Lord is going to take you in your own craftiness, man. There's nothing better than beating somebody up with their own hand. You know, setting somebody up by their own imagination, letting them fall into ditch in which they planted themselves. That's how the Heavenly Father is going to take you out. The Lord is allowing you to devise certain moves to be made so you can fall in which you intended for the nation of Israel. You know, I got something real quick. This is the book of Job, chapter 18. I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out. You got it, bro. And the spark of his fire shall not shine.
Right, and the spark of his fire shall not shine, man. You know, it made me think of Alton Johnson and all these fucking Christian house niggas. You know, they really think that Christianity is going to stand up against his truth, man. They really think that white supremacy is going to stand up against his truth, man. Esau's fighting, you know what I'm saying, tooth and nail for that to hold up, man.
Yeah.
But here it is, like I know the brother in Chicago, he said, what, Green Millstone, we push the world to read, man. You know? And Esau's craftiness, it started off with his lies, man. All right? Because what? You got his, like the brother, you know, he brought on Kent, you know, you got a history otherwise known as social studies, man. You know, and Esau, you know, pushes you know, his agenda, you know, to you know, make himself look like the good guy and everybody else look like the bad guy, man. You know, but that's coming to an end, man. His craftiness, his lies, his witchcraft, because that's all it is witchcraft. All right, otherwise known as mind control. All right, hey, it's coming to an end, man.
Sure.
You know, and it starts off with us, man, because we're the true rulers of the earth, man. And by us pushing His word out, all right, it's being the world is now being conformed unto the scriptures, man. Everybody's starting to see Esau for what it is. Esau is starting to see Israel for who they are. Okay.
It says verse 6, the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down.
His own counsel shall cast him down, man. Him believing in witchcraft and goes into that in Isaiah 47, man.
Yeah.
That shall cast him down, man. Hey, Satan's gonna be with you for a season, man. Esau should know that very well, man, because what? You have a lot of these rappers, they might be good for 5-10 years.
Right.
But then what? Satan chooses somebody else, man.
Yeah.
But really Satan works for the Most High, man. So Satan's doing the Most High's bidding, man.
That's right.
And the Most High he used you for a certain period of time, like it says in Deuteronomy 32, all right, to cast us down, to punish us, all right. But then it also goes into Deuteronomy 32. They're gonna have to, the foot's gonna come out of our ass and go up in theirs, man.
That's right. Sideways.
Time.
It says, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare.
Yeah, man, that's the worst feeling, man. Like, damn, I should have fucking seen that. I'm the one that put it there.
Right.
Dumbass,
because here it is, you got a whole trap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got like a whole bear trap, like a bear trap. And your enemy is coming that route. You put some leaves over it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just so your enemy won't actually see that trap. But then your enemy goes around the trap. Lo and behold, he saw you setting that trap, so he goes around that trap. You know what I'm saying? And then now you're in a position where you gotta get low. You know what I'm saying? You don't see the trap that you set for yourself because the leaves is over it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because now you panicking.
Right.
Now you end up falling into the trap that you set for your enemy because you panicked. You didn't really take the thought process of, damn, I just laid the trap here. You know what I'm saying? But then you end up falling to the trap that you laid. That's how the Heavenly Father got you, Edomites, man. And we're telling you. That's one thing. It's like you playing cards. You telling somebody your hand, you tell them what kind of cards you got. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we actually telling you what cards we have, and we're still gonna win.
But hey, you think they got a what's called a poker face?
Yeah.
But you think if he changes his face, he's not gonna see the type of hand you got?
Right.
Nah, man, we still see your hand.
You
think you throw a native or somebody in there, we not gonna see his hand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We see right through you, man. It's called discernment. We see right through you peons, man. You lesser luminaries. It says, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. The jinn shall take him by the heel.
That's Yahushua, man. Yahushua is that jinn. He's the cornerstone. All right, and with the cornerstone, everything else is built off the cornerstone, man.
That's right.
All right, so Yahushua, well, he's the archetype of righteousness, man. So everything else has, It
said the jinn shall take him by the heel. That sounds kind of familiar. Sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, man. Jacob took Esau by the heel, man.
Yeah. It says, and the robbers shall prevail against him.
The robbers, Obadiah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Shall he leave? How's it go?
The grape gatherers leave any grapes.
Mm-hmm. Shall he leave any
gleaning grapes?
Gleaning grapes. That's Yahushua, man.
Yeah. It says the snare is laid for him in the ground.
Hey, that's the beautiful thing, man. Because us being a spokesman, you know what I'm saying? Esau's looking at us like we're saying we're gonna do it. Now we're telling you that the jinn is gonna do it. Yeah. Yahushua, man.
Yeah. He got to get his licks off first, man. Yahushua has been waiting in the spiritual world to get busy. We can't even fathom to be as pissed off as Yahushua because we haven't been touched yet. Yahushua has already been touched. So you already know where his anger lies. Well, we can't even fathom where his anger lies, but we know through the word given that the day of vengeance burneth within his heart. That says a lot. Well, when somebody says the day of vengeance burneth within my heart, all he's thinking about right now is revenge.
I got
bring it out.
This is Sirach 20:4. As is the lust of a eunuch to deflower a virgin, so is he that executeth judgment with violence.
You see that comparison? Read it again.
It says, as is the lust of a eunuch to deflower a virgin.
Hey, the lust of a eunuch, because what's a eunuch? A eunuch is someone who refrains from sex. So here it is, you got a eunuch, that's in lust, and he sees a woman, He would love to deflower. You know, it's all he could think about. Go ahead.
So is he that executed judgment with violence.
So is he that executeth judgment with violence, man. The day of vengeance burns within the Lord's heart. That's all he's thinking about. He's just waiting for that green light from Yahweh. You know, hey man, Yahweh just might have it to where he just lift up a finger and Yahweh shine. It's like, look, like Yahweh Shai says, get him. Like Yahweh will say, get him. Yahweh Shai's like, I already got him. You know what I'm saying? That he's just waiting for that judgment call, man. He's just waiting for that call. You know? Yeah, and we can't wait for it, man. We speaking of it, we prophesying of it. This is the year of Karagma. Before the spring force, we shall tell you of it, man. Man, I got a little more right here. It says, the snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin, even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, which is what? His technology. That's what makes this devil so confident. It's his technology. So once that's taken out of the way, this devil's going to be real futile, man. He's going to be feeling real feeble. You know, not only his technology, his energy on the left-hand side, because that's going to leave him. Because all the spirits work for the Lord, Heavenly Father. So once the Lord pull these spirits back, you think they're working for you, they're working for the Father. So when the Lord call those energies and those spirits back, you know, righteous and evil, you devils going to be out here shamed, full of shame. You know what I'm saying? Feeling weak, you know? And the ill thing about it, you still going to be prideful, pursuing the revelation in the 9th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. You know?
And it said that you were saying, you can read that again about his strength. It's ruled out.
His strength shall be hunger bitten, destruction shall be ready at his side.
Yeah, and like the brother said, you know, that represents his military might. And we can see that Esau, it was a simulation that came out maybe 3 weeks back to where Russia, China, and America went to war, and guess who lost, man? America. You know, and that was just a simulation, man. Going to show you how Esau is afraid, man. You know, Esau was able to bully these other nations, but now the scripture says, Joel, let the weak say I am strong. You know, now, like in the book also says in Ezekiel 38, you know, the strong is taken on upon the weak nations, man. And Russia got missiles that America literally can't see coming, man. They got the hypersonic missiles and stuff. You know, it says it goes undetected by Esau's missile defense systems.
That's right. It shall devour the strength of his skin, even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. It shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation.
Yeah, man, Esau's running on the treadmill, man. You know, running, you know what I'm saying? You and your crew or whatever.
Yeah.
You look down, you still in the same place, man. That's Esau, man.
Yeah.
You know?
His roots shall be dried up beneath. You know, so what does that mean? You can't grow. You can't grow. You know, when you're rooted, you know, and there's moisture, that's what causes one to grow.
Right.
But the Lord is going to dry up your roots, man. You know, that's why the Lord said there shall be neither root nor branch. You know, when the thermonuclear missiles lay this place desolate, there's going to be no prosperity for America, because the intention of America was to be destroyed by way of fire. You know, so that's in league with your rulership. So when America goes, you go. It says, his root shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. Your rulership. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness, and chased out of the world, as you once was. You know, everyone chased you into the mountains.
Right, man. Like they say, they even say in the world, you know, how you start something is how it ends, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How you start something is how it ends, man. Like say you meet a girl, whatever, she think you got mad bread. All right, hey, that's how it's gonna end, man. You know what I'm saying? She gonna leave you for that. You know what I'm saying? She gonna, hey, that's how it's gonna end, man. If you find out you ain't got no bread, you gone, man.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the stepping. It says, he shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. They that come after him shall be astonished at his day, and they that went before were affrighted. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not the Most High. So it doesn't profit to not know the Heavenly Father, man. You know, because the Lord's going to show you in that day.
It says back at Wisdom of Solomon 5:2, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all they look for.
Because what do they look for? They look for themselves ruling. They look for the world operating by way of a RFID database, you know, and everything just being in control the way they want it to. That's what they look for.
Right.
But that's why the Lord says he's going to rain upon you while you're eating. You know?
Hey, that's beautiful, because at the same time, Trump talking about make America great again.
Oh, yeah.
Which we know what that means, man. That means make Esau, the name of Esau, great again upon the earth.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what? Israel's waking up. You got Edomites telling, you know, the true Israelites, or the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
You know? So that's them being amazed, man. It says, and they repenting and groaning, whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach.
Yeah. It's us. We've been telling you. So now the Lord got to see it for yourself. What's the word that we said? A quantum change.
Quantum change.
This is a quantum change. This is the only way that you're going to have to believe it. You got to see it for yourself, man. You know?
Yeah, man, because like even Yahushua said, what he say? Why look ye for the kingdom?
Yeah.
Why look ye here? Why look ye there?
Yeah.
The kingdom of heaven is within you,
Within
man.
you.
So that quantum change, man, it started spiritually, but it's going to sprout up into something physically, man.
Yeah.
But Esau, him being a carnal man, he can't see the spiritual aspect, man.
Exactly.
So when he's going to see it? When it's too late, when it's physical.
Exactly.
You know?
That's why that saying goes, be the change that you want to see in the world. You know? That's the elect, man. You know? And the change starts within you first. You know? By getting familiar with your inheritance by way of the Holy Scriptures and conducting yourself as such.
We fools account his life madness and his end to be without honor.
Yeah. Because you had what? You expected for our head to be chopped off. You wanted to you know, enslave us. You know, you wanted to buck break us. You wanted to you know, take our name out of remembrance, man. That's why you planted these names: African Americans, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, all of these bywords, niggas, spicks, wetbacks. You placed it, spooks. You placed all of these words upon us, man, because you didn't want us to be honorable. You wanted to take our names out of the book, man. But now that you see us coming back to our natural state, now you're shaking in your fucking boots. You know, and it's only a moment of time before the Lord move upon you physically, man. This is the patience and the faith of the saints. This is what we long for. This is what helps keep us occupied in this work in faith. Because we want to see your destruction, man. And not be a part of your destruction as 2/3 of our own people is going to be.
It says, how is he numbered among the children of God, and his lot is among the saints? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us.
Why? Because the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. The Lord told you in Daniel. Look, man, you didn't have a hope for salvation since Cain, man. Since you wanted to offer up agriculture and post, you know, when the commandments was clearly verbal at that point, knowing you had to offer up flesh, and then you just kept coming back in your rightful estate, man.
Right.
You know, of just transgressing, not understanding, transgressing, just totally going against the word of the Lord, man. You know, just can't get right. You know, and the spirit of you was in the serpent, in which beguiled Eve. You know, So you knew the truth. That's why how you was able to tell the lie, because you knew the truth. You knew once Eve took of the philosophies, of the other nations, that she would know both good and evil, and passing that information on to Adam. Die. That was the part you lied about. So you knew the truth. You knew what you could get away with, you know, and then you pushed it upon Eve, and because you went to the weaker vessel, and she influenced Adam, and this is how we in the position and predicament that we are in today, you know. And then the curses fell in the way the curses fell, and the split became Jacob and Esau until this present day, to where we're still at odds, you know. But the Lord's going to have us right side up to where you're going to have to pay homage to us. You know, that's what the kingdom of heaven is all about. Payback, you know, in righteousness.
Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction.
They losing sleep trying to get that RFID microchip right. They a little sleep getting that shit perfect, man. They losing sleep putting these chemtrails in the air. You know?
They sleep not lest they do some wickedness.
Exactly. Proverbs 20:14, man. You know, all of these plans and strategies that you attempt to put together to further derail us, you losing sleep, man. And it's still to none avail. This word is still going out. The elect is still waking up. The Lord is still going to destroy you. There's no profit in you Edomites, man.
It says, yeah, we have gone through deserts, and where there lay no way.
Area 51. That's a desert. You know? Go ahead.
But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it.
Why? Because it wasn't given to you. You can't know something that wasn't given to you if it was never given to you.
Right.
The Lord said, if I will stir up their pure minds by way of remembrance, though they once knew this. Right. So this information was once given to us. You don't know it because it was never given to you.
Hey, if I could add, that's spiritual, because it says, what? We have gone through deserts, but the way of the Lord we have not known. Now what? What's in the desert? Nothing.
Nothing.
You're not going to find anything in the desert.
Yeah.
But when you see your house shot, you see the way of the Lord right in front of you, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that even the scripture just proves, what we were saying through the spirit of how Esau is not spiritual, man. You know?
And what does the desert lack? Water. You know? And what does this truth provide? Water. You know? These are rivers of living water. You know? Everything that you Edomites tap into doesn't bring forth life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't bring forth life. You Edomites are advocates of death, man. Go ahead.
It says, what have pride profited us?
Now, see, we in your mind already. This is what you call, we got the drop on you. We got the drop on you already. The scriptures already told us what you're thinking about before you thought about it. You know, because right now you're still living within your pride. You know, we already seen your pride confounding you. Right. We're light years ahead of you Edomites, man. Light years. Go ahead.
Or what good have riches with our vaunting brought us? All those things are passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hasteth by. As a ship that passeth over the waves of the water, which when it is gone by, the traces thereof cannot be found, neither the path of the keel in the waves.
Right.
Or as when a bird hath flown through the air, there is no token of her way to be found, but the light air being beaten with the stroke of her wings, and parted with the violent noise and motion of them is passed through, and therein afterwards no sign where she went is to be found. Or like as when an arrow is shot at a mark, it parteth the air, which immediately coming together again, so that a man cannot know where it went through.
Right.
Even so, we in like manner, as soon as we... I'm going to read that again. It says, even as we in like manner, as soon as we were born, begin began to draw to our end.
Talk about it.
And had no sign of virtue to shew, or were consumed in our own wickedness.
That's heavy. You know? So your beginning was your ending, man. Your beginning was your ending. And there's no virtue in you devils, man. There's no virtue in you Edomites. You know, none at all. You know? So the Lord got you devils in a trick bag, and it's a beautiful thing to know it, you know, and we hope that we live to see it play out, man. You know?
Hey, man, if I could add just, you know, I think that's a good one to, you know, close it off on.
For sure. Yeah.
But, you know, hey, man, it's important for us to stay spiritual, man. You know, because this book tells it all, man. But, you know, like the brother said, we speaking through the Spirit, man. And through the Spirit, we see Esau's future, man. And it's not looking good, man. You know, it's not looking good. And we, even though we cast down, you know, brothers went through, you know, infirmities as far as money or whatever, man, physical. You know what I'm saying? We in the right position. But Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to come save us out of this, man. You know, like look at the book of Psalms, man. You know, it speaks about that, man. That the Lord will not turn his back into a contrite spirit, man.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. So, you know, with that, you know, we hope brothers was edified. You know, we hope devils was edified. You know, because the agenda that you're formulating and, you know, in a collusion with one another about, you know, is blinding you from actually seeing the truth. And it's beautiful because the Lord wants to destroy you. The Lord wants the Israelites to take the kingdom by way of force because essentially he's a man of war, you know, and that's what he got coming to this society. That's what he got coming to America. It's war. You know, the Lord is going to have you devils rally up, fight once against another in the Middle East. And then, because just Russia is just not enough for Yahushua. America is just not enough for Yahushua. China is just not enough for Yahushua. So Lord is sweeping all of y'all up, you know what I'm saying? Placing y'all in the Middle East, you know, for Yahushua to dump y'all all in the trash. You know, y'all going to be fighting each other, and then y'all going to come one against another and attempt to fight the Lord, and he shall be broken without hand. You know? It's going to be a cakewalk for Yahushua. You know, the Lord is going to remove all the diadems, you know, from the heathen. He's going to have many crowns sitting upon his head, you know. And Lord willing, we're going to be joint rulers, joint heirs with Yahushua. The scriptures tell us that if we shall suffer with him, we shall also reign with him. You know, and that's all a part of our patience. You know, so, you know, Lord willing, you know, like we said, you Akim were edified. We'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. We'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.